Okay,
Hi.
ready?
Hey, my friends. It's so good to see you all again. Stephanie in the middle west of Canada. Do you call it the Midwest of Canada? What do you call it there? The prairie? No, you don't.
Just call it
Americans showing
Southwestern
Canadian ignorance
Ontario.
again. And we've
Okay.
got a lot of Canadians on the taping today. Denise, you're in the east coast of Canada. You're not in the Maritimes. You're in Quebec. No, it's not called that either. And
Yeah, it's
Rose, you're in the
Quebec.
west coast of Canada. Do you call it the west coast? Yes. That okay. I got one right. It's a big country. And Laura, you're in the mother country. You're in Great Britain. And I'm in Los Angeles. And
You're in the marine area of the US, is that correct?
as we know, it
Where's
never
Los Angeles
rains in
exactly?
Southern California. um, Yeah, marine area. No, we have marine layer. A marine layer. Everything's gray right now. It's called the June gloom, but it's early this year. It started in April. Uh-huh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Of
Climate
course.
change, right?
Yeah.
Everywhere. Yeah. Anyways, on that happy note, let's talk about art, something we all love, 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 love. I love talking with you guys about art. It makes me so excited that we get to do this all the time with each other. I can talk about art from sun up to sundown when I'm not making it. So, since we all have um, something we're trying to say in our art, you could call that artistic voice. What is that? Because that's not just style or technique or, I mean, I don't even really know what it is. I have a sense of what it is. Do you guys have any idea what that could be?
Is it our style? Is it, because obviously our paintings don't.
Mm.
Oh,
Is
your
it
Your
sound
your
just got
sound is
style?
gone.
Is it
weird, Stephanie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
your sound's
sound
going in and out.
is going in and out.
I
Yeah,
don't know why.
Stay closer
yeah.
to your microphone, maybe.
I think maybe check
Here
your.
we go. Is this better? Now that I have
Yes.
both
Yes.
earbuds in? Okay, sorry about that. Okay,
Great.
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm okay now?
So far,
Yes.
so
Okay.
good.
So yeah, like art, like is it our style? Is it because our why is what drives us to create the art, right? So our artistic voice must be related to our why in some
Huh.
shape or form.
Huh.
I'm guessing.
Oh,
I
that's
think
really
it's a
interesting.
combination, right?
But the problem is, like someone like me, I have totally different things that I do. So it's hard to sort of nail it down just to style because I have different
Right.
I don't think
styles.
it's just the style though. I think it has to do with like I've done different things, but people have told me before that even if it's something completely different, they can still tell it was made by me for some reason.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
me too.
yeah, it has something to, I think it has something to do with your style, but not just one style, but multiple styles maybe. But it has also to do with why you paint, because it also
Yeah.
has also to do with why this stuff comes out of you. But I think it's even more than that. I think it's also, I mean, maybe to do with the way you handle your tools, the choice, the stylistic choices that you make. Like what do you want to
Yeah,
bring to
yeah.
the canvas? Like
I think for me, I've been told more than once that the intensity of chroma that I use in my work, whether it's my printmaking or my watercolors or my oils, or, I have so many different things I do, but
Hmm.
I tend to have my color palette tends to utilize an intense chroma of
yeah,
colors as opposed to, let's say, pastel kind of palette.
yeah,
And I mean, perhaps that's one thing that's part of my voice that I don't even think about. One thing that did happen to me over time that kind of clarified somewhat of what it's about is that, I'd been doing sketches and drawings over the years. And at one point, one of my friends, close friends, said, "Oh, Rose, that's another one of your corner drawings." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Corner drawing? I have no idea what you mean." And I really had never connected the concept that, oh, she was right. And then I looked through a whole bunch of my work and I had a continuing motif of a corner, some type of corner in the image. And it made me really think because it was totally unconscious. So
Mm.
perhaps those are some of the things that go into making up what an artist's voice is, like repeated motifs or things that we do even unconsciously that we're not aware of, that go from one piece to another just because of our who we are, right? Our
Yeah.
Mm.
character.
Mm.
Yet for me,
Yeah.
people always comment on my sense of composition.
Hmm.
That's something that people always mention in my work.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Even when
Laura,
I
you're
don't know what people say about mine.
I think that your voice is when also your art is recognizable, that it's your, because
Right.
it's like how you talk through the image. So it's your voice, and it's related to your style and your why, but it's your voice.
yeah, and
I think,
your subject matter.
yeah,
Right.
Laura, did you say your how and your why? Is that what you said?
your style.
Your style.
What do you use? You can be recognized how you use the technique,
Uh-huh.
but also through your why. I think it's unconsciously you have to find your voice. Is not something that you say, okay, my voice is this. You have
Right.
to find deep
Yeah.
inside what you are here to express, and it's
I
not
think you're right.
easy. Probably it will change through the years. It doesn't have to be always the same.
Mm.
Well, you change as a person, right? You evolve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
Evolve.
guess
Oh, yeah.
your voice does too.
I want to bring up what Laura just said about finding your voice. I think that's a language, a vocabulary that we all use. It's a very common way to say it. But then hearing everything that we're all saying, I don't even really know if that's so accurate that we're finding our voice. It's like we have it. It's when you say it evolve, it's like that
Discovering
kind
it.
of really put it together. It's like,
Well,
Yeah, maybe discovering. Yeah,
I just
true.
recently went through a learning module that was literally called Finding Your Voice. And
Right.
the goal of doing that for me personally was to set parameters for myself, because if I want to do something, being an artist, I have endless possibilities. I can use a wide range of techniques, materials, styles, subject matters. I have an empty canvas, and the possibilities are endless, right? When you start something new.
Mhm.
So, in order to give myself at least some parameters to work within, so I can create something new that can evolve into a consistent body of work. Because if I just start slapping stuff on a canvas, and next time I feel like doing something completely different, that's not really productive for an artist, I don't think.
it depends. It's a point we could argue, but go on to
Well, yeah.
make the
So I did this thing where I researched and researched and researched and looked at art for a couple of weeks, and I started collecting things that I liked. And I looked at a specific type of art because that was what I was going to do. I had already made that up for myself in my mind, that was what I wanted to do. And in that genre, I started looking at art, and I picked out about 150 images that I really liked, and then I started describing what it was about those images that I did and did not like. And then I sort of narrowed it down to there were certain things that kept coming up. There were certain elements in those paintings that kept coming up again and again and again. And those
You mean
are
like
the
principles?
things.
You mean principles of design that you are identifying?
Things like use of color, use of texture, use of composition, use of materials, stuff like that. Like specific things that you can recreate as an artist, and not necessarily to be copying something, but just see what it was in those pieces that attracted my attention, and what it was aesthetically that pleases me. Because when you create art, you want something that satisfies you, yeah, right? Because that's the
Mm.
main reason that you're doing this. There's something inside of you that you want to. You're not looking to create something that you don't like, right?
Yeah.
At least I'm not.
No.
So therefore, I came up with a list of things, a list of like, I put it in a spreadsheet. It's literally a spreadsheet. It's I can show it to you. It's hanging right there.
Oh, how
That's
cool is this?
And it's just a reminder to stay within these parameters when I embark on this journey.
Ah.
So I have something to hold on to, and I don't lose myself into the endless void of possibility.
And you
Ah,
have something
That's
to write
smart,
in
Denise.
your
That's
artist
good.
statement,
how
right?
so?
Because
so?
It gives me an
you've
idea.
identified certain components that you're focusing on that you can at least share with your viewer on that level, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
of course, it's still new, so I don't quite know the why behind it yet. Although it does give me sort of an inkling of what at least I want to accomplish.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Did you find, Denise, that when you were doing this exercise that there were, for example, 2 or 3 paintings or pieces of art that were completely different, that didn't have a common thread, and that you found things that you liked in one but maybe didn't like in another? Like how did
Yes.
that work for you?
Well, there were pieces that I selected that because lot of them, most of them are very similar, like in like tone and the way they look together. And there were a couple of outliers that I picked because there were specific elements that I really liked, but I didn't like the painting as a whole. But there was like certain elements, like certain types of brushstrokes, for example, or certain types
Right.
of use of material that really attracted my attention. I was like, okay, that is something that I really like. And if I don't pick this painting in this collection of things for ideas, I will forget about this thing. So that is the reason
Right.
that I did pick that, because it's something that I really wanted to be using.
Hmm.
I think.
Right.
Yeah, I'm doing
Very cool. That's a great exercise.
with Pinterest. I have a folder for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used Pinterest
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing that I did is that I created a document out of all the Pinterest things, so I could actually write about what it was that I liked about those things. You can also just print out all your Pinterest images.
It's so
But I
it's sort
did
of like
use-
you're distilling the components of your vision board
Mhm.
that are actually relevant to developing a new piece.
Yeah. Yeah,
As
and you
opposed
wanna
vision
sort of
boardy.
yeah, you want to sort of gear it to like practical things that you use as an artist,
Yeah.
right? So you're looking at practical things like composition, materials, use like texture,
Viscosity.
color,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
those types of things. So
Yeah.
because you're
Almost-
looking at from a practical perspective.
It's almost like what you're talking about kind of comes to really reminds me of a very influential in my lifetime writing by Vasily Kandinsky about when he wrote about point and line, and basically about how a line has a certain type of energy and a point has a certain type of energy, and how in your work as an artist you're essentially working with those two different types of energies and how they can combine in different ways, like musical notes. Let's say you have the same 3 musical notes, but you can combine them all sorts of different ways and make different types of energies with those notes. Kandinsky writes this. It's very beautiful writing. It's an influential passage in Das Blaue Reiter, I think, is the piece of writing that he did it in. That's German for what is it? The Blue Rider.
The Blue Rider, yeah.
Yeah, the Blue Rider. And it really influenced me. And sometimes I find myself thinking about it. So perhaps that kind of thing does enter into how we develop our voice as an artist, how we work with these elements and our own personal relationship with point or with line. I mean, there's an artist in my building, Kari Christensen. She's called The Printmaker and Her Dog, if you want to follow her. And she does lino cuts. And her lino cuts are very precise and linear. And she literally dances with the point and line, and she just works in black and white, two colors. She's just too graphic, very graphic, but everything is implied with point and line,
Hmm.
and the relationship between the two within the tension of the image. And it kind of she almost distills down, Kandinsky's little essay on how even just those two elements working together can create something really unique, but also each iteration is different.
What's it? Lino, Art, and her dog? Is that what you said? No. What was her?
The printmaker and her dog.
The printmaker and her dog. Thank you.
So I
That's
want to
great.
add something to this mix. One of my favorite teachers, Marshall Van Druff, who's also appeared with Proco on his podcasts and videos. This guy is a fantastic teacher. He was like the teacher I was looking for decades, by the way. Look him up. And one of his suggestions is find your art parents. And art parents, it's kind of like the spreadsheet exercise or the vision board exercise that you're all talking about, but in this case, the context of it is different. It's like, who has influenced you to make the kind of work that you want to make? What are they doing? And it's like you're taking on the DNA that they've given, like the life that they bring to their pictures, and what is the life that you want to bring based on that. And it's not even just having two art parents, it's art family. You can have as many people as you want, and it's chosen. So it's not just like you're given it. But we do have particular limitations, I would think, to our facility using different kinds of material. And I think the interaction of what we find to be our limitations and our strengths can be the making of what our voice finally becomes.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what I mean about what I meant before when I said, like, I don't really know if we're so much finding our voices, like we're becoming more of it. When you say evolution, that's kind of where I went with that. And so from that, I've also been listening to this podcast by Nicholas Wilton, who I don't know if you've ever heard of Art to Life. He's just like fantastic. And this podcast that he makes, when he talks, I don't care about his guests so much, but when he talks, it's like, oh my God, lay it on me, brother. And what he's talking about is, I made a note here. Where is it? Writing down all the great things you guys are saying.
Yeah, me too.
I translated it as from what we were all saying, the inner you made visible. And so that's like the art of becoming. He's always talking about it's the you inside that, what brings you to life, what's bringing you to life on canvas or in your picture. And so I think that's sort of like the becoming, this becoming visible, not hiding, I guess. And so that's maybe what we mean when somebody's lost their voice. It's not really that they've, lost it. Oh, I don't know where it is anymore. They're not feeling it.
They're not feeling it.
Yeah, they're not revealing it.
That touches on the work of Jung, right? I mean, and Jung was an artist himself. So a lot of his insights came from being an artist and engaging in the process of creative activity himself. And I mean, as you say, the invisible made visible. That's like as an individual artist or not, that we are able to recognize our own inner symbolism. Right? That the motifs, the things that really have meaning consistently for us, even over time, as we start off as young artists and we develop, that's what our voice is us exposing that inner world where we're realizing, like me, oh, there's this corners. What does that mean? For me, it was a huge revelation, because I was at the time I was going through my pain years, and I was trying to keep it all inside. And I didn't even realize that I felt like I was backed into a corner, but my brain was trying to say, you're backed into a corner, lady.
Right.
Yeah. And you need help. And even realizing what that motif meant to me personally, even though I hadn't recognized it, someone else recognized it. I was like, oh, wow, I probably need to go and push a little harder for the help that I need. So, these kind of things are us discovering ourselves, maybe not our voice, but ourselves. And a metaphor of that actual physical voice keeps coming to mind, because we all have that thing where what our voice sounds like to us
Right.
is so different when we hear a recording.
Absolutely.
Almost everyone will universally go, oh, that's how I sound like.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I
Yeah.
wonder if there's a
Absolutely.
connection, or analogy or something that's similar. That's what you call bone conduction. We can hear ourselves within within our own structure. And I wonder if there's something like that also with making art, where it's like I've got my bone conduction going on when I'm doing that, and then I show it, and it's like, oh no, that's a whole different story now. I don't know. That's really
Yeah,
awesome.
that's really interesting. You know what I find really interesting, Rose, is that it's like your subconscious was talking to you through your paintings.
Yeah.
Right? It's amazing to me that what art can bring out, and what our subconscious is trying to tell us, and how it tells us these things.
Yeah, well, that's one reason why I talk about healing as part of the process of creative activity, because I mean, that's what we do as expressive arts therapists, is kind of just help people sort of notice those motifs or things that almost sometimes they're so obvious that we don't realize.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? Like, yeah.
Because as an artist, probably you are just it's your mind that is conducting, but unconsciously, and your hand is working. Because while you were talking, I was thinking, because the art that you are making has a meaning for you, but probably as also meaning, probably being art as a meaning for the other, who is watching your art. So it's like a discovering for you, but has to have also a meaning for the person who are watching.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, what does our art say about us?
Yeah.
So we might have our voice, right? We might have our voice kind of thing that kind of comes out in our painting, but then what is our painting revealing about ourselves?
I love that question, Stephanie. That's
do I look like maybe I feel like I have antenna, or I don't know, or spots on my back? I don't know.
Don't have that looked at. On that note, I think we're having a studio tour today. We're seeing Laura's studio.
Before it becoming dark, because I forgot to take the light.
Okay, we can see.
We can see.
No. Now, yes. Now. Okay. This is my
your conservatory.
Yeah.
Have a tour of Laura's conservatory.
Here is where is my desk, where I plan, or I make the drawing, and
it's so neat.
Yes, is it always that neat?
Or so neat, I know. It's so neat and bright.
It's neat now. Clean everything. No, because when I'm painting, it's a mess. I will show you also the drawer where I keep the colors. I won't show you the other side of the conservatory that is here, where I have painting and the color, but I won't show you.
Really?
Come on, I showed all of mine. I showed all of mine with no preparation, no warning.
No warning. Okay, here is, you can see how messy it is.
Oh, that's
many times I don't know what I have here. like this. But the corner where I have a corner too, where I'm painting, is here with a little I don't know how you call that.
I have the same one.
A little,
no, there are some.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Some little painting, but usually here I have the colors that I'm using, and sometimes I can show you here.
Wait, Laura, are those stacked canvases, or are those materials, or what are those that you were saying was on your tabouret next to your easel?
Paintings, I think.
Just a little. The painting that I show you The
The
other,
that little stack
That
you
were
have
piled up.
Piled
yeah,
up.
yeah. Now I will show you. And when during summer it's too hot there, so when I have to draw, I draw here. That is my kitchen. So
Yeah.
Ooh.
Do the same.
it's
That's all right.
easy. Yeah. But I prefer to use this space because I have a little bit of garden, and yeah, here are the pile of just what I try to do.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Painting.
Yeah.
Oh, how cool. So
Experiments.
they're like tests and experiments and
Yeah.
colors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Nice.
They're really cool.
Yeah.
Some canvas ready to paint.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's exciting.
It's everything here.
Nice.
That's nice, Lara.
Yeah.
I love this like the light that comes in there. Wow.
It's a very good vibe. I love to stay here because it's quiet and I've done when I enter in this house. I've done my rituals to clean the energy. I have.
Yeah, I do that too.
Are you ever tempted to open the door and sit outside when you paint?
Sorry?
Are you ever tempted to open the door and sit outside when you paint in the summer?
Yes. Here I can open here. It's all opening here. So
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
it's
Lovely.
open, it's like a veranda.
Nice.
No, it's quiet and as I said, I've cleaned the energy and I have salt rock for corner of the room. So that's it.
That's cool. I do the same thing, Lara. I have what's it called? What's it called? Palo Santo that I burn to clear the energy. And my son's like, "Oh, what happened?"
Yeah, because it has
here.
The smell is heavy.
I like that smell.
Yeah,
I prefer the Palo Santo to the sage.
Sometimes the white sage and but it was told me that also to have the salt rock in the four corner of your house have to have the clean energy. I don't know. I do everything.
Yeah.
When you say a salt rock, do you mean like actually a chunk of rock, or is it like
just a little rock like this?
I see. Where do you get that?
Yeah, I have in all my house in the corner. And
Ross, if you go to any little market, if you go to a market and you find people who sell like beads and crystals and stuff, you can find the salt rock.
Yeah.
You think that's easy to find in LA? No.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that stuff in LA. Don't worry.
Well, yeah, but like not.
This is salt.
Not like it used to be.
It's salt. My dog, when has found it.
He likes it.
Because
right?
Well, that's one.
I like salt too, but I don't think I'd like a rock.
That is awesome. Thanks for sharing, Lara.
That is very cool, Lara. That is very cool.
Yeah.
How much space do you have to look? What do you call that? To get distance from your work to see how it's looking.
When I paint, as I show you the sorry, Maya.
She wants to say something too.
Of course.
Yeah, she's watching on the window. Usually when I paint here. I don't know if you can see here. And when I need to see how is, I go like this.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
nice.
Oh,
that's very
cool.
nice. Yeah.
So you can have the different perspectives. I'm sorry because I'm not very good to handle the camera of the.
Oh, it's fine.
Computer.
Sorry.
Okay. Fine.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you ever think of painting Maya? Or a portrait of Maya, I should say?
No, to be honest, I'm not a very. I've never thought to paint anymore. So
okay.
I take picture of Maya. every day when I go to work because she's funny. She's really funny and sweet.
And she knew you were talking about the salt. That's when she started piping up, right?
No, she was talking outside because I
Oh,
left
oh, oh, oh.
the window, and she's not allowed because I tried not to make her bark because I don't want that the neighbor get mad. But usually she don't know. So now she can see that I'm busy, so I cannot say anything, and she like a child.
Oh, so sweet. I think we're talked out for now, but actually I have so many more questions, and I can't wait to get back together next week so we can talk about this some more. Would that be okay if we talk about this some more next week? Great,
Yeah.
great. Does anybody have anything that they want to say or announce or?
Oh yeah, I'm going to be taking part in the Parker Art Salon. It's going to be right now. Actually, there's a group show up at the Pendulum Gallery downtown Vancouver, and then we are also having an open studios on June 10th at Parker Street, and there's also an online auction through Waddington's. So as part of the Parker Art Salon. Yeah, it's really cool. You get to see what everybody in the building's doing.
Oh, really
Nice.
exciting. How many? Do you have some pieces in the auction too?
I have a piece.
What kind of pieces is it? A painting or a?
It's a
fabric art
painting.
piece?
It's one of my watercolor and oil paintings called
Oh.
Final Swarm. Yeah.
Oh! I think I know that piece. It's very powerful. Stephanie, you look like you had. Are you saying something? Are you talking? Because we can't hear
You
you.
are on mute.
I thought you were just
Sorry.
being coy.
No, no. No, so there's the Riverdale Art Walk coming up in Toronto, but I forget now when this episode is airing because folks, we don't actually live stream. Well, we kind of do. We live stream, but we don't live record and stream. So this episode is might be airing after the Riverdale Art
Yeah,
Walk.
I think it will.
It is? Oh, okay. Anyway, so the Riverdale Art Walk happened whenever that was, last weekend or the weekend was. And hopefully you made it down.
Riverdale, is Archie and Jughead going to be there too, or what?
Yes,
Okay.
Always.
sure. I'm Veronica. I always thought Veronica was prettier than Betty, so I'll be Veronica.
Yeah, but she was also a biatch, so well. there's
She
that.
was. So I'll be Veronica. I'll be Veronica. Anyway.
Okay, well, thank you so much for let's get for get it get the, I can't even
Words are
Coming out.
for being together today. This has really been a lot of fun, and I really learned something from our conversation. I can't wait
Me
to
too.
talk about this some more. Okay, well, we'll see each other next week, and everybody out there in
Okay.
TV land, we'll see you next week too.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.